Let's go.
Is that you?
Hey, what's going on? What's happening, Stein?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. I feel like I'm losing my mind. You ever feel like that?
Well, I never felt like I had it in the first place.
Well, there you go.
Always
I
been
guess
gone.
I guess that's the best thing. You know, you're so ignorant to the fact that you don't even know you have a mind.
How
Or
are you
you're
today,
losing it.
Stein?
I
How
don't
are you
know.
today?
I don't.
Talk to
I'm
me
all
more.
right,
How are
man.
you?
No, I'm okay. Today's Thursday, so it's a good day because I love doing these. I love doing these interviews. And you found a good guest for
Have
us
you?
today, didn't you?
I have. I found a great guest. I was very
All right, we'll
fortunate to get him on. But I have a quick question. When
Yeah.
was the last time you had a shower, Stein?
Oh, I had one right before I got on.
Oh, okay, right on. Okay. I can smell it. You're smelling good
Jesus
today.
Christ, what kind of shit we got
What
going
kind
on?
of hit it is? All right, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you too much today. I want us to bring on a guest because it is like, he is. Would you like to do the intro? Would you like me to do the intro today?
I can do the intros, but you can
Go
do
on
it.
then.
No, you can do it.
Okay, so
This
we
is your
have a
guest.
gentleman.
This is
We
your
have a
guest.
gentleman who is big in Cardano. I mean, it's in his name. The guy has been at it for a long time, and he is a very knowledgeable man. So hopefully he'll be able to share some insights with us. Because as you all know, we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing.
I don't know anything.
So we're gonna find out a little bit about him. He's definitely a legend in the Cardano space. Absolutely. He is, with regards to cornucopias, I think his video was the first video that I have ever seen that I saw that had anything to do with cornucopias. So he introduced me to the corn, and he got me in there. You know, he got me into the server, and yeah, man. So I got a lot of respect for the man and love his videos. So let's bring him on. Bringing this to the show today is Cardano with Paul.
Cardano Paul. Oh, look at him. Cardano Paul.
Hey
How
guys,
you doing,
how are you?
Man? Yeah. Good, brother. Good.
Hey,
Thank you very much for joining us.
All the way from Ireland.
Thanks very much for the invite.
My favorite accent that Brad Pitt fucked up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bad Irish accents.
Are you talking about in is it Snatch?
No, Snatch. No, he was a pikey in Snatch, right?
Yeah, but he had the Irish accent in Snatch. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, but no, he did a one with Harrison Ford like way back.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he was supposed to be like
It's probably more your era. That's fine.
Yeah, it was my era. I'm an old man. I think it was back in the
day stuff.
late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
So how are you feeling today, Paul? You good?
Good, yeah. It's good. Markets are a bit better. Jay Powell didn't destroy the markets yesterday, so it's all good.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not into anything right now, so I am feeling mad FOMO right now because all I see on my freaking Twitter feed is Pepe, Snack, Dino, all these meme coins, and everyone's like, I'm picking this bag up. Look at my bag. And I'm thinking, I don't have a single penny. I don't have no bags of nothing. And I feel like I'm missing out on this. What's your thoughts on this meme? It's like meme season, right?
Oh, for sure. It's crazy when you look at Pepe and entering the top 100 cryptos in the last few days. And it was only created, I think, 2 weeks ago. It's absolutely crazy. And unfortunately, I don't hold any. When you see such a massive pump in it, I'm always too scared really to start going in at that point. Same way on Cardano, you mentioned there, Sneak, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but you see absolutely insane gains on that one in the last few days only. And again, don't hold any of that. And at this point, I'd be kind of afraid to go into it. You see random ones just pumping now on, it's pure FOMO. People are just like, well, if Pepe done this and if Sneak done this, then it's inevitable these other ones are. But it's a dangerous market. There's a lot of people, well, not a lot. There's a few people make a lot of money in these meme coins. And unfortunately, it's a great transfer of wealth, but generally it's a transfer of wealth from people who are FOMOing into them to people who just bounce from coin to coin, and they're able to take their profits in, say, Sneak. Now, I don't know anything about the project or people in it, but generally the coin pumps, there's a few people who got in early will take some massive profits. Then they have the ability to start pumping the next coin, which generates more FOMO, and other people come in, and then at the top, they can start selling off
Start
the
selling.
bag that they've bought there. And it can be a cycle of just transferring a lot of wealth to the few people who were in the know at the beginning. And
From
I
wealthy
wasn't
people
in
to
the know.
wealthy people, right? I mean, do you
Yeah.
think these coins, a lot of them are, I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but do you think a lot of them are just hype coins? They're just like nothing behind them and it just the pump and dumps, or
Oh
how do you
yeah,
feel about?
100%. The majority of meme coins are pump and dumps, and they come in. You'll have one or two that are trying to build legitimate communities, and if they start to do really well, you'll have lots of, should we call them scammers or whatever it is. And this isn't talking about any individual coin, but you have lots of people sitting on the sidelines and see, I could make a lot of money from this. And it's like they jump on the hype of it and they create the next meme coin, but their only ambition is to fill their own pockets, where there are some that come out and try and build a good community around it. You look what Hosky has done on Cardano. I think that's very different to what we're seeing now. And Hosky is all about trying to promote Cardano and trying to do a lot of good for individual stake pools and users within the community. So there's some like that, I would say, that are different, but the big majority are just out to line the founders' pockets.
It's typical. It's typical because out of all the meme coins that exist, the only one I hold is Husky, the one that hasn't pumped and dumped. You know what I'm saying? It's typical how that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, meme season, everything is going crazy, and the FOMO. How do you yourself? How do you fight back the FOMO feeling that, like, everyone else, not everyone else, as you said, there's only a few people, there's only a few that make it big, but how do you fight that FOMO feeling of, damn, maybe I should do a little bit of research to see if I can find the next Pepe, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do look around and saying only a few make money. There's a lot of people make serious money, but it's unrealized. It's paper money. They watch the market go way, way up and think I'm 500% up or I'm 1,000 up. It's gone 10x, and they keep watching and thinking it's going to go further. So actually, good day to have the shirt on. DCA, no matter if
DCA.
it's legitimate coins or meme coins, that's at the bottom, you start to DCA in, never go all in. So if you want to put $1,000 or 1,000 ADA into something, put 200 or 300 ADA in now, set lower buy orders, and the same way on the way out. Once you have a few multiples, maybe 2, 3x, start to look at getting your initial capital out and keep a bag if it's going to go higher. But generally, when I'm looking at getting into anything, that's the mindset I go in with, is DCA on both sides. It's into the market and getting out of the market, because no one picks the top and bottom. But on these ones and not FOMOing in, it is hard. I've started today to start to look around some of the meme coins to see what's there. Look, I'm not opposed to going in and trying to trade them, but I would never talk about individual ones, trying to promote them or anything like that. With the position I'm in now, with the audience I have, I don't want to be the one that's seen to pump it, to try and sell it off to other people. If I'm going to get in, I'll do it myself. I'll do my trading, and just like any other user getting involved. Haven't done it yet, but I've started to look into it. And what I'm starting to do is tracking the coins that have done really well, tracking the users on that have taken big profits, like I said earlier, and trying to see where they're putting that money next. So if they start to put that into an early meme coin or into other projects, then I'll consider buying a bag at that point then of the new token, not the one that's already gone up 1,000%.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
have
no,
a.
well, Stein's good at that. Stein's very good at buying at the high,
I like the I buy
all-time
high and sell low.
Yeah,
It
Stein's
cleans
favorite
it
way.
washes my money that way. I feel like I got a Shylock over here. I just give him his percentage and I'm all set. But you have quite a large following on YouTube. Do you have coins or companies wanting you to shill their product, shill their coins? Have you had that come up yet?
Yeah, I've had a lot of that, especially in the last bull market. There was a lot, and even now there's still nearly averages out one a day at the minute still at this point. And that's not even counting Twitter. You get a lot of shit on Twitter, whether they're real companies or not. I just don't bother going into them, which unfortunately means I miss a lot of legitimate people trying to ask questions on Twitter because there's so much spam over there. But I've never went down the route of accepting sponsorship on the channel. It's from projects. it's something I've always been very cautious about. I'm just not sure of the right way to do it or the ethical way. Obviously, if I do it, it would be fully transparent. I think when the channel was small, I took one sponsorship from a trading platform. It was just a charting software, and we done it for 1 month, and they were willing to set it up for months going forward. But I cancelled it after 1 month, even though I still use it sometimes. But it was just easier for me to use TradingView, where theirs was a really good platform, but I had to be on my desktop to use it, and I wasn't always doing it. So I didn't think it was fair to them to keep doing it going forward. But I am considering it going forward. But what I would like to do is, I wouldn't like any one-off deals where it's like, pay me X amount for a shill, essentially. I would like something, if there's a partnership with companies that I could do that's an ongoing basis, or even potentially looking at the way I see ambassadors, or getting a role within projects to help them grow, not just putting random ads on videos, things like that. It would, something that I fully believe in myself, would be the only thing I would consider getting into.
Well, have you thought about doing sponsorship or getting commercialized with companies that don't or are not involved in cryptocurrency? You know, so a company like I don't know, like manscaping or something like that. You know what I mean? Something that has nothing to do with crypto, where it won't affect the viewer.
Yeah, there is that side of it too, and you get them kind of offers with affiliate links and things like that. So the likes of VPNs or different services out there, and potentially do things like that that aren't essentially telling people this is a really good project, you should buy this. And I don't know what the right way to do it is. I know there's people do it all the time, and once it is declared this is a sponsored post or whatever it is, and if they give their real opinion on the project, then fair enough. It's a fair way to do it. People need to earn money. I was lucky enough that I trade myself, and I also have the stake pool. So between the two, I didn't need to rely on paid advertising on the channel, which I think helped the channel grow too, in that people seeing I wasn't trying to milk the channel for everything that I could get out of it. So at some point, I'd like
Patreon. Have you thought about Patreon? Do you have a Patreon yet?
No, haven't done Patreon or anything like that either. I have Telegram groups, but nothing committed where people are paying that I have to be there providing the information and things like that. Like, I reply to a lot of messages every day, but nothing in a paid sense.
Okay, very good.
So okay, so let's go back to the origin story. Like, when did you find crypto, and what made you decide to get into doing crypto YouTube videos?
I suppose, what year I was trading Forex, binary options, when I was working the job, I was doing different things in the evening. Kind of since I came out of college, I was always doing different things. Used to build websites part-time, and got into the online world, started trading, was doing okay at that. And then in 2016, that kind of brought me to crypto. Crypto was starting to rise then. Now, I bought some then, but I didn't hold anything that I bought at that point.
Yeah.
When we got into the 2017 bull run, or kind of early 2017, I started to pick up a bit at that stage. And as the bull run went on, I started to buy all the next hype coins, the next big thing. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get some of that, and I'll get some of that. And then it was only as the bear market started to really set in, I started to look at everything I had. And at that point, I started to consolidate a lot of what I had into Bitcoin and ADA, because I was looking at what do I think has a longer term future. So I started to go back into them two mainly, held some other coins, and some I done well on throughout the bull run, some not so well. That was just the way it balanced out. And at that time, I did have a channel, a very basic YouTube channel, where I was talking about trading, but I was exposing a lot of the scams that were out there. And that kind of brought me into crypto, and that people were talking about this. You put in $250 used to be a big one. You put in $250 into crypto and we make you a fortune trading. But they were all scam companies. So I started videos showing that. And then throughout the bull run in 2017, talked a bit more about Bitcoin and different cryptos out there. And I think, when was it? October, November 2020 at this point, is it, that I started the Cardano YouTube channel. And well, I started my stake pool, started the channel to do a few tutorials to show people how to stake and how to do different things. And that was the plan at that point, but it kind of snowballed from there. I talked about trading one day because I had that background, and it was just good timing. I think ADA was about 8 cent when I started talking about it first, and I started showing people different levels and different things, and it kind of kicked on from there, and that's what really
So,
spiraled the channel.
wow. Okay. So even though you kind of answered, you said like you looked at a few different tokens, and you saw ADA and Cardano, of course, and you said it was more long term. You could see some more long term stuff. What made you decide to start doing YouTube videos about like Cardano with Paul? Why Cardano? Why not crypto with Paul? Or
Well,
why did you?
he had his other what was it, financing with Paul or not? What was it?
That was
It
just
was
trading. So
trading with
Trading
Paul.
with
Yeah,
Paul,
yeah, yeah.
right? Because you haven't done
But then you
anything on
decided
that.
to go in. But then you decided to go into Cardano with Paul. And so what was it that made you decide to go Cardano instead of just crypto as a whole?
I suppose I set up the Cardano one that was going to be individual tutorials, and where I was going to do dedicated Cardano videos. And I thought at the time I would still do the other channel, so I'd still put out some videos on that. I used to do some tutorials and in around trading and news and different things, but as I went deeper down the rabbit hole, I started to spend more and more time on Cardano. I was kind of on the forums every night. I was on the forums answering questions, as many questions as I could. And if I seen people with common problems, the next day I was creating tutorials to show them how to do it or how to solve it. And so it was easy. That kind of really helped the channel too. I spent a lot of hours answering people's questions. And then after I'd answered it for a few people, I'd go off and create the tutorial on how to
Yeah.
do it or the common questions I was getting. So I think that really helped initially to get it off the ground, as well as the trading side.
That
Well,
was actually my next question. My next question was going to be, how did you grow it? Because obviously there's a lot of people, nowadays, especially within the
Mhm.
crypto world, everyone is trying to be a crypto YouTuber or a YouTuber or an influencer of some sort, including us, Stein and myself.
Yeah, but we
Um,
didn't know we don't have any inkling of what we're doing with the crypto
yeah,
world.
but
So that's why we
my
just interview
I
people.
mean, I've been in it since 17. I've been
How's
in it
that
since
how's that
17.
working? How's that working
It,
for you?
it didn't work out well
Okay.
because the only thing that I made any kind of money on was Doge. I luckily bought some Doge, and I think it was 17 or 18, really early. So I made a little bit of money with that. But apart from that, so you say you kind of what if you had to pick, I don't know, one, two, three things that helped you grow your channel? What you mentioned one already. You kind of answer questions. You took all the most frequently asked questions and you said, hey, I'm going to do tutorials about it. So that was one thing you did. But what else in terms of like dedication to the channel, in terms of consistency, in terms of how did you approach it in your mind? With what kind of mindset did you have in going, hey, I want, or was it just like, I'm just gonna have fun with this. I'm just gonna answer questions. I have no intentions on growing it. If it grows, cool. What was your mindset behind it?
I suppose the original mindset on the channel was to help the stake pool, help get some initial delegation into the stake pool, and helping people out to me seemed like the best way if I was helping people. And I always put in at the end of the tutorials that if this was helpful, please consider staking to my pool. And that's how I initially grew it. And that's why I had the channel initially. And then I got into it, started to really enjoy it, diving into different projects. But I put a lot of hours into it in the beginning. I used to sit up till 2, 3 a lot of nights, just going through the groups and everything, and not trying to shill anything. I was just answering questions. And if I had already created a tutorial about certain questions people were asking, I was able to point them back to that. And the video wasn't a shill video, it was actually solving their problems. And a
Education.
lot of times,
Yeah.
if you help someone and you genuinely do help them, then they do try and do something back for you. It generally, I look at it that things come around in cycles. If you do help people, it will come back to you. So that was kind of how it happened, and then the trading side definitely helped too. That I was talking about the markets and talking a bit about the charts, and I don't go deep into indicators when I'm looking at charts. It's more levels and kind of potential areas that things can go, rather than you see some charts and they're just full of everything. I don't get that deep down into it, so I think people liked that it was basic enough. It wasn't confusing people on everything that was going on.
How did how'd you get involved with Patty?
Patty, I actually don't know when I met Patty first, but let me think. That's probably something I'll have to ask him. I don't know when we connected first. It was probably something over the stake pools, asking questions, because he's very, very good technically. If I ever have problems technically, he's the first person I message to see. Like, we message every day, kind of sharing links of what's going on, or just kind of shit talking or stuff like that anyway. Yeah. But technically he's the guy I go to. And then last year at the summit in Switzerland was the first time I met him in person, and talked about doing the shows together, which I like doing. I like having someone else on the show to bounce ideas off, and even bringing on guests. It's great.
A lot easier, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and it's so much easier doing the lives rather than trying to plan. Like, we plan out rough topics, but we generally, the Wednesday night streams are very free flow, and try and bring in any comments that come in and stuff like that. It's more laid back than the other videos I put out are more structured, and they're kind of, you try and get to the point fairly quickly. So it's,
yeah. Well, that's good. When we were deciding to do this channel, that's one of the things we wanted to do, was not have a script, don't have any questions lined up for any guest, and just have the guest come on and see what we can do.
You can actually come up with,
right?
Approach to anything, yeah.
You know, because we didn't want that scripted style. We just wanted to have people come on, and we've had a lot of guests. Actually, about 90% of our guests go, "What are the questions you're going to answer, or what are the questions you're going to ask me?" And we we have no idea. We have no idea. So, but I watched quite a few of your videos, and I really like the banter when you have the three people on. I think those flow very well. You know?
Yeah, they get along well together, and they kind of just vibe off each other, right?
Yeah, I enjoy them, and just it's a different dynamic than the other videos. So if people don't want that type of stuff, I put out a video every Friday that's a summary of the biggest things that I've seen in Cardano in the last week. So I'd say they're the most popular ones, because people come in and in 10 to 15 minutes, they get a decent summary of what's happened in the last week. And I do other ones, project reviews or project interviews with different founders. Like you said at the beginning with Josh and Rob, they were on, it's a long time ago now. I think that was one of the reveals, or I think that was the first YouTube interview they done for Cornucopius, which was great to have them on, and great to see where that project has gone so far. Looking forward to racing launching, hopefully fairly soon. Any insights on that?
Okay, well, hey, man, I'll challenge you to a duel. It's gonna go down.
So you're with Cornucopius. Are you in a guild or anything like that? I don't know if you are.
Never. I'm actually in one of the Discords, I think, but I never went past the entry. I can't even think what the name it was. I always meant to go back and research the different guilds, but I didn't commit to anything.
I mean, you don't have the time, I guess, man. I guess you're a really busy dude. I mean, I'm guessing you get, like, if you get a lot of these people messaging you up trying to ask you to shill, or trying to get, partnerships or sponsorships or whatever. And then you also have people like us, two sausages here, trying to get, trying to grab your time as well. I'm guessing you won't have too much time, but it's nice to hear that you're going to do some racing there, man. Do you have any, speaking of that, do you have any of the racing suits? Cause that's Cheeky Crypto, that's their thing. And we had them on the show as well. And one of the questions I have for them, cause they're very much technical analysis kind of stuff. And my question to you is, do you understand the technical analysis stuff, and or is that more your buddy, the tech side of things? And if you do you understand much of the Elliott waves and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'd be more into like support and resistance and trends, and that's more what I follow. I know the guys are very big on Elliott Wave, and I do watch some of their videos on that, and I would have an idea about it, about the different waves and stuff, but I definitely wouldn't be that strong in that. It's something, again, I was meant to look into at different times, but generally I don't go that deep into technical analysis. For me, it is on a more basic level when I'm personally trading.
Yeah, hey,
So
trust me, I go as basic as I can be. If it's
yeah,
going
me
down, I'll
too.
probably pick it up. If it's going up, I'll probably go sell. That's
That's what I do. I look at the
yeah,
price. Oh yeah, I can afford that. Let me get some
yeah,
of that.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
Oh, I can
yeah.
sell that now. That's as
Yeah,
far
and
as I
actually
go.
on the suits, yeah, I do have I think of one of the cheeky racing suits when they
Yeah.
went on sale. Anyway, I bought. I'll have to look up the NFTs. I have my OG bubble jet. I think I have a
Oh,
javelin.
okay.
I think I have a
Yeah, yeah.
standard bubble jet too. I must check out the wallet to make sure I'm prepared for whenever we do get some racing.
Right. So
Yeah,
let me
man, it's
ask you a
around the
question.
corner.
What's a normal day like for you, in and
For
outside
me,
the YouTube realm?
Hmm.
I suppose I'm lucky enough to be in the position where I've been full time for since my second daughter was born. After she was born, I took a break. You can get parental leave in Ireland. So, as I'd always been doing my own thing since I was in college, doing bits online and into trading. And then at that point, what was that, 7 years? I hadn't really got into crypto at that point. I'd just about heard of it at that stage. So, after she was born, and that was the second kid, I was like, look, I think I took 3 months out of work. You could take 3 months unpaid leave, and I built up enough in the account to pay my wages myself for, I think it was 6 months at the time. And things really kicked off for me. Things started going really well when I was putting more time into it. So
That's great, man.
I've been full time since then, just doing different bits myself. I do some consulting with local companies every so often, but general day is I live about 400 yards from the school where my kids go, so I'll walk them to school in the morning, come back, try and catch up on messages. Some mornings I'll come out. I have an office in my garden, so some mornings I'll come out before they wake up. You're back in for breakfast and everything. Bring them to school, so still catching up. If I have videos planned, I'll try and get them out, researching new things that are going on, try and get a bit of a workout in. Some days doesn't always work. Some days it can
Good
be
man.
it takes a while in between they happen. Some weeks I get into a great run of it, and then other
Yeah,
weeks it's not
yeah.
so good. But
You got a home
it's
gym or you go to a gym?
no, I have a spinning bike here behind me, and I also have the adjustable dumbbells. So that's as
Ah,
far as I
yeah,
go.
yeah.
And
That's
it's
cool.
when it's right here, I've no excuse for not doing
Right.
it.
Do
So
you
I
get
try
tired
and
of doing the YouTube videos? Does that wear on you?
at times it does, when you see so much shit that's out there, and when you're getting bombarded sometimes by all of the absolute, what I would consider scams, just looking for promotions and stuff like that. There's some days where I try to record videos and it's just not working. It's not
Mm,
flowing some days. So that's, I suppose, where the live streams come in good, in that I have to do them and they're more relaxed, they're more laid back. So I enjoy that kind of stuff. And I train my kids' football team too. So that takes
okay.
up some evenings during the week too.
Um, I want to ask you something. So you get a lot of these people messaging you up saying, "Hey, CP, hey man, I want you to. Can you please show this, or can you talk about this, or can you spoil out whatever?"
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you look for, you personally, Cardano with Paul, right? If I ever meet you in person, that's exactly what I'm going to call you too. I'm not going to call you Paul. Just hello, Cardano with Paul. Um, has anybody ever done that to you before? Like, actually, I don't know if do you know any people like locally that know you that you do this?
No, there's only a few locally that would know, and it's more familiar that kind of know what I do rather
Yeah.
than know exactly what I'm at. There's a few people, and it's strange when you meet them. And the summit last year was a very strange experience. Like, it probably doesn't come across in videos like this, but I'd be more an introvert away from
Okay.
videos. And even that's why I don't get videos out sometimes, is that I try and put it out and it's like, no, it's just not happening some days. But when I was walking around at the summit and I could see people looking, and they're like, they recognize me from the videos, and it was a
Yeah.
crazy experience to
That's
to be in
cool,
that
man.
environment. It was great, but crazy.
Well, I must say, touche to you. What that's for being an introvert, and you know, I'm quite the opposite. So this is, I think, like this kind of stuff being on YouTube is great. Is kind of not easy, but easier for extroverts because they just blah, right. So you know, for someone like yourself who's more introverted and keeps it, you know, keeps themselves. I'd say that's well done and fair play to that, because I can imagine it must be kind of tough to step outside that comfort zone and do that kind of stuff. But I want to go back to my question with regards to what you get all these DMs and stuff, and or are you just doing your own research, right? What?
And
Sorry. Oh, yeah, I ain't actually
no,
asked my
sorry, I
question
didn't
yet.
answer that. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't even know
I'll
if
go
I
back
asked my
there.
question yet. Did I? I don't even know. I'm losing my mind. So how do you pick the project? Maybe you already knew the kind of question I was going to ask, but what is it you look for in a project for you to say, all right, I might consider doing that, or even just for you to invest in? What do you look for in projects?
I suppose I generally look at what they're doing, look at competition that's out there, look at, especially if it's something coming out on Cardano, I will look at what similar projects have done on other chains. So if a lot of times projects can be very similar, what's coming out. I think in time we will see excuse me, unique
Okay.
projects coming out on Cardano, but a lot of ones so far, there's some version of them on other chains. So that can give you a good indication into what to look for in it. The team too, like if a team isn't doxed, I will rarely invest in a team that isn't doxed, that I don't know or I can't hear. If there's major hype on them, I might put something very small into it. But for me to put something bigger into projects, then it would have to be a team that's doxed. Generally, I try and get into projects early. So if I don't get in very early, then I'm very cautious about getting into the market after that. Now, it doesn't mean that I get in early and get out early, but generally I will get in early, try and get my initial capital out in the first while, and then hold the majority of the position longer term, because I use the same initial capital to put that into other projects. So when the markets are really good, that strategy works well. It diversifies your portfolio and also leaves you with a decent holding of multiple different projects, because everybody picks bad projects. I've picked bad projects down through the times, and you're never going to have a 100% record. So to me, it's investing in multiple different ones. Don't get greedy when you do start to see some returns on the project. Always aim to get your initial out as early as, not too early, or else you spoil further gains. But that's where DCA is, like taking some out every so often, but still keeping enough in there if it's a project you actually believe in.
Do you what YouTubers do you follow? Do you watch other people in the crypto and
well, he
crypto
definitely watches
world?
2-week links from now on. That's for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
That's
at least one episode. At least one.
at least one.
Yeah, I suppose I go through phases of looking at different channels. I follow different people on Cardano, and the last while we've had lots of really good people coming on to Cardano. Guillermo Woodland Pools was on our live stream last night, and I keep up with Pete, Learn Cardano. Fareed on Dap Central has come out, a lot of really good content over there. And I shouldn't have started to name people because I will forget
someone.
them. But
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, that's
and
fine. That's fine.
outside of that, like Rob, Digital Asset News is great for overviews of what's going on in the overall space. Benjamin Cowan, another really good guy for some of the more technical stuff. A higher level view of, or a more analytical view of what's going on in the market.
He's just Bitcoin now, so he's a Bitcoin maxi.
He is, to a degree. He actually still has 2 Cardano stake pools, but I know he's very much Bitcoin, but he does go in and out of altcoins. But at the minute, he's very much sees Bitcoin dominance going up to 50%, and that there's a lot more pain for altcoins to come. So I think it's good to get a variety of what's going on.
Yeah.
Coin Bureau is very good for individual deep dives on
everybody knows Coin Bureau. I think Guy is probably the top of the heap.
Yeah. And actually the show that they do now, was it not financial advice or non-financial advice, the live stream every week where they move around. Rob Ben and Guy's channels.
Yep.
I think that's very good for kind of the latest news, what's going on. No hype, just general opinions and legitimate questions being asked.
Yeah, I moderate the one that Rob does. But,
Okay.
yeah, but that's very early on usually in the morning. I think what is it, Sunday or something like that. So I'm always waking. I can't remember what day it's on, but I always set
Yeah,
my.
it was actually on today. What are we? Thursday.
Oh, well, I missed it.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey,
Today.
you're not doing your job, man. You're not doing
Yeah,
your
but
job.
no, it
guys.
wasn't. I didn't. I don't think I missed it because it wasn't on Digital
It was on
Asset
Guy's
News' channel.
channel
It was on
today.
Guy's
It was on
channel.
Coin Bureau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I don't moderate that one. I wish I did, but I don't. What do you do for hobbies? Do you have any hobbies? Anything outside the crypto space?
I
Do
mean,
you
he
like to
works
go to-
out, dude. Definitely works out.
Well, he works out at home. I mean, but
Yeah.
do
That's a
you
hobby.
get to go out? Do you get to go to a pub? What the hell do you get to do over there on
collect
Ireland?
stamps.
I suppose I used to play football, a lot of football when I was younger. Haven't in recent years with the kids, so kind of I miss that side of it. I do train my kids team, so I train my oldest girl. I train her team at the minute, so it's good. It's good to get me away from the computer because sometimes I get locked up here and don't get out too often. But I go out and meet friends or that every so often, but it doesn't happen near enough. So it's
Your friends will be pissed to see that you're doing this and you're not hanging out with them. They're gonna be mad, man.
Well,
You got time for
unfortunately,
these two fools, but not us. Yeah.
unfortunately, that definitely doesn't happen often enough that you go out and meet friends. When you get kids, they kind of take over, and it's every evening of the week. There's some activity. There's football, swimming, horse riding. There's music. So they generally keep my schedule fairly full. So hopefully, another few years I can get back to my own activities then.
Where do you see, just to divert the conversation, if you don't mind, where do you see the future of Cardano? Where do you see Cardano going in the future? We all love Charles. I think he's really, really brilliant, really smart. And I love what they're doing, what their plans are to reach out into different parts of the world. Where do you see Cardano going in the future? And yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
I see the role of IOG and Charles kind of scaling down. I would never like to see Charles out of the picture. He's very Marmite in the crypto space. There's people absolutely love him. There's people that hate him. From the Cardano space, obviously, I really have a lot of respect and really like the guy. He talks a lot of sense when he talks. But I think not having a figurehead is really good for the project. Like when we do bring in Voltaire and on-chain governance for Cardano, that's what decides where we go going forward. I'm not sure what happens with IOG and developments and budgets, and will they keep building indefinitely because they have a big bag of ADA sitting there and it's in their interest to keep the project going forward. I think with Charles and his vision, he would never like to see it die away. So I think we're in safe hands in that point. I think multi-chain, side chains, layer twos are going to be very big because you can only scale a layer one blockchain so far. At a certain point, if we keep scaling Cardano, it's not where it needs to be just yet in terms of scaling. I know we're going to have input endorsers, which will really help. We will get more transactions, more regular blocks, more transactions, and hopefully faster finality. So when you send a transaction, that it doesn't take the 20, 40 seconds for the transaction to go through, that we will get to faster blocks, which is needed for DeFi to grow. But we can't keep putting everything on the layer one, even when we do get that scaling, because if you do, then it means the requirements to run a node for the ecosystem is going to get bigger and bigger. And we don't want to get to the stage where you can't just have anyone running a node. Like at the minute, we have something like 3,000 stake pools, which leaves us very decentralized. So I wouldn't like to see us scaling the chain up so far that we can't keep having that. So that's where I think the layer twos and side chains are going to become bigger if we can get roll-ups on Cardano, which we don't have yet. And from listening to the more technical people. There's a few people that I would always listen to technically, and we're not going to be there for another year or so. And if we can get them, that brings layer twos into the picture for Cardano, which will be very good. Makes interoperability a lot simpler too.
Yeah.
Do you think having somebody like Charles, like one person, be the figurehead, do you think that can be detrimental? I mean, because if something was to happen to him, like, you know, sickness or death or whatever like that, would the project collapse? Do you think the whole thing would just, people would lose millions of dollars because of a project collapsing because the figurehead is deceased?
I think he's definitely a big figurehead within it. His control over the direction probably isn't where it was 12 months ago, or especially where it was 24 months ago, when you start to look at what other people are building on chain now. So hard forks up until when we got smart contracts, then projects really started to try and build DeFi dApps. And they quickly realized that what IOG and everything have been building, there was a lot of things missing for launching DeFi on chain or starting to get really scaled up DeFi. So since that point, we started to see the community having a bigger say in what gets built or what should be built to really push Cardano forward. I think we're going to keep seeing that the amount of input from the community on what gets put into Cardano is going to grow and grow, and what comes from Charles and IOG side is going to be less. They're still going to be there, and I hope they never walk away. But even Charles said this at not the summit last year, the one before, that his job was starting to wind down at that point, that he wasn't the one pushing the ship forward then. It was the community was starting to push it forward. I know outside of Cardano, it's still seen that it's Charles's project and Charles decides every single thing that happens. I'd say he still has a very good sway in it. If he says things should happen this way, that word goes a long way and it has a good weighting on it. But I think that will wind down. And as you say, you don't want it that if something happens or the SEC goes after one individual, that can affect the chain. So I think going forward, that when it's completely in the community's hands, and that's a big push on Voltaire to actually do that and give control over, that it's not the founding entities that are controlling it then.
Excellent. Well, we are coming up on our time limit here, and I know you're
I've been having so much fun, man. I've been having so much fun chatting to you, bro. You're really easy to chat.
I appreciate your time. I enjoy the conversation too.
Appreciate your time, man.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. We're going to put all your information in our links for our video, and we'd like to have you hang out in the green room as we do our little outro, and we'd like to talk to you just a little bit more if you have a chance.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for inviting me on. Everyone watching, make sure you subscribe to the guys down below and give the video a like. There's your show.
Also, thank you. And then we'll all meet you on the racetrack in Cornucopias.
Yeah,
that sounds
most
good.
definitely.
We can do a live stream of the race.
Hell yeah, man, that's happening. Cool, awesome. Thanks very much, brother.
All right, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Awesome. What an awesome guest.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was really nice to chat to him. He's really down to earth, and you never know when you're gonna meet sort of, I guess, a celebrity in a way, in this industry, in this field. You never know what the person's gonna be like, and if they're gonna be kind of up themselves, or if they're gonna be chilled out and cool. And he's definitely was fun to chat to, man. Very knowledgeable geezer.
Nice. I don't get to talk to too many Irish people unless they're from Boston, so.
Yeah,
and they're not the same Irish. They're not the same Irish. They're Boston Irish. It's a whole different group of people.
It's a whole different kettle of fish, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, that was fun.
It was a great show. So we're gonna do our little outro. Please, everybody, like and subscribe. I'm Stein.
And I'm Se7en.
All right. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next show.